Greetings, people of the internet. This is Cardiacs, and today, trying something a little kind of new. So, a long time ago, I wanted to try and do fan art for some YouTubers that I really like, and I managed to do one, and then I stopped. I think I stopped because the first attempt took a long time, and because I was trying to do a bit of realism, it kind of got a bit stressful. But I found in this attempt that I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I expected. One of those reasons I think I enjoyed it is because it's quite different from what I've done in the past, and you may be able to see the screenshot that I minimized but is on the screen. I was using that for reference, and that is what I'm trying to draw. The YouTuber that I like and am featuring in this video is Pixielocks. And it's a lot different from what I'm used to drawing because when I think of Pixielocks, I think of pink. Just a lot of pink. And also pastels and sparkles and glitter. She's just very, very bright, very bright colored. And I always stay away from brighter colors whenever I do pieces. I usually go for more muted tones, I suppose. So doing a piece that's just so many bright colors was definitely something new. But what I discovered also really was a few things actually. Was that the colors aren't quite as saturated as I thought. And I'm not entirely surprised either because in the real world colors aren't really that saturated. So that they're kind of on the left side of the that box there in the corner that has the color wheel around it. That box, like toward the left where the grays are, that's where colors tend to be. They tend to be somewhere in the middle between the grays and then the more vibrant version of that color. And I thought for some reason that maybe trying to replicate these colors that Pixie tends to have everywhere, I'd end up being a little bit more on the right. I was wrong. Apparently the colors that I thought I would be using, like they're still pretty bright, but I was going, instead of going toward the right, I was more so going up. And surprisingly to the left. Because the left is typically a white when you have the color wheel in a box shape like that. And so yeah, I also noticed another thing. Like I think it's just reflection from her very pink room, but her skin tone's also very pink too. So it's just I was very amused by this because when I realized that she was pink too, I just kind of felt like maybe her love of bright colors had managed to become a part of her, so her skin reflected it. But it's likely just that her skin is reflecting the pink colors of her bedroom walls. Still a fun thought. Anyway, I was trying very hard to figure out the colors by myself. In other words, I was trying to avoid using the eyedropper until the final stage of overpainting. But I also had a little bit of a hard time trying to choose some of the colors, so I allowed myself to go ahead, especially when I wasn't entirely sure what I was seeing. For example, the teeth. Like her very bright smile there, she is showing her teeth, and I thought typically teeth are somewhere in the realm of kind of a desaturated yellow. So it's like it looks white, but it's got kind of a yellow undertone. But in this picture that I used for reference, which is a screenshot from one of her videos that I was watching, one of the ones that inspired me to decide to draw her in the first place, I used the eyedropper, which is a tool that picks up the color that you point it at. And it turns out her teeth are pink too. It's a very desaturated pink, but it's still white with an undertone of pink. Because of that, it gave me more reason, for example, to believe that her skin was very pink because of her room. But yeah. So I learned a lot of things because of that. I learned just how much colors tend to reflect off of items, including people and their skin. I don't typically do the kind of reflective appearance. My cat keeps trying to get attention, so I keep like trying to swat her away because I'm busy. What was I saying? I don't remember. Something about light reflecting off skin, I think. Yeah. So, I cut it out, but I did actually originally record myself going back to YouTube to check and see what Pixie's eye color was, and I was thinking, oh, it's going to take forever to try and figure that out, and then I realized that one of the videos that I had already pulled up, she goes in, it's like her Christmas video, which I think is where I got this screenshot. She shows this little tiny white piano ornament that she got for Christmas this last year, in 2017. And when she was doing, no wait, no, it's not the piano. I don't think. I don't know. No, it was. I think it was like a haul video. I don't know. The point is, she's showing something. I'm pretty sure it's like an. I think it's actually a Kat Von D everlasting lip color thingy. Maybe it's mascara. I don't know. I don't know much about makeup. Regardless, she's showing something very small to the camera, and then suddenly her eye is in the upper left corner, and I was like, oh, yay! I don't have to go searching through all her videos to find out what her eye color is. Because in most of her videos, her eyes just kind of show up looking kind of black. But because of that, the color, the lighting doesn't really get to her eyes, so they tend to look pretty dark. And then I discovered in that one video where she's showing off the piano or mascara or whatever. Oh, it's lip color. It's definitely lip color. I remember now. The everlasting thing, because she was talking about it staying on her lips for like 3 days. Anyway, she was showing that off, and she got really close to the camera, and I assumed the lighting in her room managed to catch her eye in any way. It was a very nice, really interesting color. Like toward the pupil, it was like a darker brown, then a little further out, it was a lighter brown, and then around the edge, it was a darker, well, not necessarily dark, a more desaturated green. And I was like, wow, that's really pretty. So when I found out that her eye was so complex like that, I knew I had to attempt doing that. And of course, I didn't do as much detail with her eyes as I wanted to. But I also didn't want to make them black. I wanted them to have some more color in them because everything about her is color. It's one of the things I love about her so much, is she's not afraid to look like a kindergartner because of her love of color. So I look up to her because she's just not afraid to be herself. And I love how bubbly and sweet she seems, but she's also able to be serious because she has been through quite a lot. She has, like me lately, she has gone through some depression, and she actually had scars that she got covered up via a tattoo on her leg. And I've noticed that I said some phrases recently, and I was like, I know I've seen or heard somebody saying these phrases before, but I couldn't remember who. And then I started watching her videos again, and I realized it was her. Because she says things like she's a happy bean or something. She's like, I am a happy bean, and I love him, when she's talking about an inanimate object, and it's just so adorable and sweet, and I love her. So I love watching her videos because she just kind of makes me happy. And through my own issues, I find that she helps me even though she has no idea who I am. So, yeah, that's a great long list of stuff. And, yeah. I really hope she sees this. I'm going to try and tag her, and I hope she finds it, and I hope she likes this, and if I feel like I could have done better with the artwork that is her face, but I don't do anything in this realm of realism very often, so I'm very out of practice with it, especially digitally. I'm okay with doing like pencil sketches for realism, but when I bring into the colors and whatnot, it's a bit overwhelming, and I start freaking out about, does this actually look like the person I'm drawing? Like, I get so close to it, and I'm paying so close attention to it that I start to wonder if I'm even, if it's even working, like what I'm trying to do, is it even working? So I find that whenever I do drawings that of actual people that exist in real life, I will ask my friends and people I care about what they think. Like, does this look like the person that I tried to draw? And like, they say yeah, but I'm always like, are they just telling me that because they know it's what I want to hear? I just don't believe anything remotely good. It's pitiful. I'm trying. I'm trying to be more happy, more bubbly, like Pixielocks, for example. But it's a journey. It's it's an experience, it's an adventure, it's a process. Regardless. One thing I decided to deliberately change is that in the screenshot she's wearing these gold metallic stars, but I know she likes Crayola crayons, and she actually made her own pair of earrings via stabbing a couple of actual crayons with some earring pieces. So I decided to give her those instead, and I don't know what color crayons she had, so I just kind of based them off the color that her bangs are. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and, bye!